Who's cool in H-Town? Thank you for tuning in to Fox Files Cold and Unsolved. So it seems like StreamYard is making me go live, so I can no longer do the recordings where I'm comfortable at. So hey, get out of your comfort zone, right? Right. So welcome to Fox Files Cold and Unsolved live. In Houston, Texas, and I highlight the through my segment of my beautiful souls, and then I will scurry on over to dear sister dot 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 a letter to let you know that you are not forgotten, and that is my show where I highlight the many rapes, murders, kidnappings, and our missing sisters. So I'm Cass, H Town's Army brat. Let's get at it, and let's be live, right? Okay, so. If you are new to my show and new to the channel, I thank you for tuning in so much. I'm assuming now, so forgive me, but I'm all smiles. I'm all smiles, but first let me say, please forgive the absence. Yeah, forgive my absence. Let me ask for that because it's been a minute since you've seen Fox Files Cold and Unsolved, and that's because I was recording out of my garage. That's the only place in my home, in the location where I can get good sound and everything. So, and if you know anything, you know that it's been boiling hot outside. So I hadn't had the chance to actually do any shows because it was too hot. And when I'm in the garage, I start sweating and I get the itching all about my face and all that good stuff. So I decided to go ahead and just advance and elevate. And now I'm in my own office. So Fox Files Cold and Unsolved has a location now, which is wonderful because it gives me the opportunity like I said, to move on and move forward because I do want to eventually interview people like detectives and family members of victims. I want to interview police officers. I said private investigators. You know, anyone that can give me some kind of insight and some kind of help with the things that I talk about on my show. Right. So, without further ado, again, I'm Cass, H Town's Army brat, and they got me going live. So, like I said, if you are new to my show, new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. And I would like for you to, subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, like the video, and to share the video because you never know who can benefit from the content being spoken because, we all, if not, we all know somebody who knows somebody who has somebody missing or murdered or whatever in their life. So we can, assist the best way we can with knowledge on figuring out what happened to these people. And then who better to police us than us? Who better to find out what happened to us than us? We sit back and we get upset with the man and like, well, they don't help us, but they help them because they're helping them. Let's help us. So again, this is an informative show to get information out there on what's going on as far as the missing goes, as far as the murder rate goes, and all of that good stuff. So again, if you are new to the show and new to the channel, you would know, you will learn and find out that I like to start off with some. It's me giving you a little bit of information about something that could be good pertaining to or helpful pertaining to the missing, the dead, the murdered, all that good stuff. So today's Did You Know it's going to be about the disparity in the media. I should have said in the media. About, oh no, I did it right. The disparity about the media coverage when it comes to the missing women, the races. You'll see that you have a lot more coverage when it comes to the caucus race, when it comes as far as getting media coverage and information out there and information known versus the colored race, Hispanics, African Americans, Native Americans, anyone that is not, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to say it because we already know. I don't have to say what is understood does not need to be spoken. So you already know what I'm saying, right? So that's good. So what it is I want to do this first because I really appreciate this little video that I made. So here, I want to play this. Give me 18 seconds. Thank you. Because that's what this show is about. The missing Black ladies, the missing Black girls who go unnoticed and unheard about. So again, back to my did you know? Did you know? It says, did you know that that Black women and girls go missing at a higher rate than any other races besides the Native Americans? And that right there is a story within itself. So we can get into that, but not today. And we will get into that, but not today. In 2022, Black females alone made up 18% of the missing person cases, despite only being accounted for of 7% of the United States population. So 18% of Black women and girls are reported missing, but we're only 7% of the population. So how is it more of us that go missing than there's more of us that exist? So somebody got to do these numbers for me, and that's fine. I don't like doing math anyway, but that's what the status says, that 18% of the missing person cases that are reported are African American girls and women, and we only make up 7% of the United States population, and with less than 5% of that 18% gets reported. So 18% of the African American, the missing reports are Black girls and women, and only 5% of the 18 gets reported. So the 13% is just thrown to the side, but then the 5% that gets reported barely gets any reporting done. It barely gets anything, any coverage. If you get 1 to 2 seconds of one news coverage, and it may be early in the morning. You get the 10 o'clock news, and you get your early in the morning news where nobody's paying attention to the news because they trying to rush and get out to work or trying to rush and go to bed. So who's really seeing the coverage versus anyone else, and you get every news break. CNN got a all of them, all the networks. All the networks. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, building. But nobody's reporting that like it needs to. So we have to sit back and wonder, what is the exacting factor, right? What is the exacting factor to where you can say, well, who is more important? Who determines who is important? Who determines who is more important to look for? Who determines who is more important to report on? This is the media we're talking to. So media, we're calling you out right now because we want to know who determines who gets it. Do you determine it? Does the government determine it? Who tells you who can be reported on? So I do my research, of course. I'm a researcher. I'm going to research and investigate. So I have done my investigating, and I was like, well, who is the determining factor? What is the determining factor? Who and why and what inside decides? So I found out that they have 5 reasons Why? Missing Black children and teens are never reunited with their families. And here we go. Are you ready? So, reason number one is the age cutoff and the police's racial bias, or it's at the police's discretion. So, it's the police, it's up to the police to tell you whether your child, your sister, your brother, your mama is worth them looking for, you know. And it says the USA Today analysis found that there's a patchwork of rules. When a child disappears, most police departments have a cutoff age that determines whether to launch an immediate investigation. Here it says, it's 10 years old in Louisville, Kentucky. So in Louisville, Kentucky, you can be like, my baby's 10, my baby's 12, and he's missing, she's missing. They got a little baby. 10 years old is all we give it down. 10 years old is our cutoff limit. So we'll determine whether it's important or not because hey, they're older than 10 years old. I don't care. 12, I don't care. 16, I don't care. But in New Hampshire, it's 17. So it's insanity. In New Hampshire, they'll give precedence to 17 and down. You know, that's when they determine, okay, this is a valuable case. Somebody, we can go ahead and check this out. 17 on down. But then in Kentucky, it's 10 years old. The baby got to be 9 in order for them to care about this child being missing. Okay. So it says, however, investigating officers can override the age limit if they determine that the special circumstances exist, such as the child is in immediate danger or has health conditions. That gives officer who initially interviewed the family enormous power. All the power in the world, because they me telling you again, you know, how much money do you have in the bank? $2,000? Well, that's not worth my time. Or $50,000? Maybe we can talk, because it's on me to tell you whether I want your child to be looked for or not. And their opinion, and like I said, that's what I just said, it's also their opinion of the child's home environment and the way the child is being raised. So if the child is of wealth, accordingly to some of these statistics, then they're worth it. Black or white, they're worth it. That's crazy. And of course, it's shaded by racial bias. Okay, so that's number one. Number one is the age cutoff and the discretion for the police. Number two is adultification, especially with Black girls. It's already been a known fact that society expects Black girls to be more grown than any other girls there are in the world. So when you're 13 years old as a Black girl, you're supposed to be more mature than those of the caucuses. And thank you so much. You know, we appreciate that you recognize our glory. We appreciate that you recognize our maturity. We appreciate that you recognize the wonderfulness that it is to be of melanin. But who are you to say, okay, she's 16, so she's considered a grown woman out there in the streets? Excuse me. My daughter's never, you know what I'm saying? My son, how can you? But it's up to them to say, well, you know what? I feel like she's too grown, she's too old, because identification in Black girls, authorities often don't view Black girls as children, but as savvy individuals who could manage potential threats of violence and sex trafficking if they were missing from home. Who decides these factors? Who is sitting up at nighttime or in the room or whatever the case may be telling people, you know what, this is what I'm thinking. Forget about it. It's insanity. So number one is the police cutoff age, and it's up to their discretion. Number two is because they think Black girls is too grown. They feel like we can manage ourselves out there in them streets because y'all can't. And thank you for recognizing it. But y'all wrong, because we still coming up missing. We wouldn't have these issues if you wasn't coming up missing. So you're wrong. Number three is the DNA database. Of course, we're come from broken lineage. We've come from broken homes. We come from broken homes, broken lineages. So we don't know our ancestry. We don't have a culture. The culture that we have is a culture that they're making us have, and that's the one that is exploiting our children, exploiting our girls on the internet and on Facebook, on TikTok, and all that craziness. That's the culture that they want us to have, and all that gangster rap, hip hop, dumb. Pardon me. But you know what I'm trying to say. So, according to them, science provides an invaluable tool to identify the remains of missing children, DNA. But people of color have a smaller footprint of DNA database, a smaller footprint of DNA database, because you took husband and wives, sisters and brothers, mothers and children, you separated them. Mama and her baby. And then when they get older, you take said mama and said baby, who's now of age, to consummate, and you make them consummate, the mother and the baby. And maybe the people involved might not know it, but you know, they knew, the owners knew, the masters knew that they was putting mama and son and daughter and daddy together. They knew it. So we don't have a DNA database. We don't have one. But we have a very small footprint of a DNA database. So there you have it. That's number 3. Number 1 is the police can tell you what it is. Number 2 is they think you're too grown. Number 3, we don't have enough database. And then, hey, number 4 is the kicker. It's called the missing white woman syndrome. And I'm not making this up. Missing white woman syndrome. This is not me. This is the research, baby. And this is somebody named Gwen Eiffel. It's infamously coined for the phrase missing white woman syndrome in the 2004 journalist conference. At the conference in 2004, this Gwen, she's passed away. If Eiffel, I-F-I-L-L, famously coined the phrase missing white woman syndrome. And at the conference, the veteran broadcaster, journal broadcaster, was describing the coverage priority the newsrooms managers give missing white women and girls versus any other race. So it's in the media as well. So media, who gives you the deciding factor? Media, who tells you who you can and cannot? Who tells you this? You gotta explain this to me, because I'm so confused. I'm really confused. Okay, and if missing white women if it's missing white women that you're going to cover every day, then what's the point of even thinking about anybody else? What's the point of even considering anybody else? There's no purpose, because they're going to only talk about the white girls. Only going to talk about the white girls. It's the white girls account for a third of the population, the nation's population. The news coverage that presents white girls, half of the media coverage sometimes goes on this. You get EquiSearch out there searching for what you give people. But then again, like I said, it's on us, people. When you have these missing black girls, do you see a lot of black people out there in the woods doing the search parties? No. We're at home looking at it on Instagram. We're at home talking about it. Or at home not even caring about it. So it's up to us to police ourselves. We can't expect the man to police us if we don't want to do it for ourselves, right? Right. Because how dare we? Who are we and how dare we? How can we? Because it's obvious that we don't care. That's what they're saying. But you don't care. You don't care. You said, right? All right, good people. So that is, did you know the disparity between the media coverage between white and different races? There is a huge disparity. So we need to stand on the backs of the media to make them to hold them accountable for talking about us too. You know, or if not, we can create our own media. We don't need their media. They can keep their media. We can have our own media. It's 2023. There's so many other ways that we can get our name out there and get ourselves out there and socialize and put us out there to where, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and we can get our own resources, have our own fundraisers, build our own communities up so we can police ourselves and get a hold of our children. and get a hold of ourselves, our mamas, our daddies, get a hold of us and do us right, because it's the sex trafficking that is getting out of control. It is the sex trafficking rate, the crime rate of these girls being missing is coming. It's sex trafficking. Look at this. It's sex trafficking. This is how they notice them. We have to do better and watching our children, because these people are out to get our kids. They're out to get them. They are. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was my Did You Know segment of the show. Today, I'm not going to do My Beautiful Soul, because I want to just do these Dear Sister, ... a letter to let you know that you're not forgotten, which is a couple of missing girls. And that's why I want to talk about the information. This is 3 different ladies, and I have 3 pages printed out. 3 pages on 3 different ladies, because there's no information. But anyway, before we go any further, without further ado, I would like to go off and pay some bills. So today, I would like for you to help support my channel by purchasing an item from the item that I decide to advertise for the week. And this week's advertisement is a vanity tray set. I use this tray set in my own restaurant. This is my personal tray set. My this won't be yours. You can get it personalized. And I use this tray set, of course. See, I have my hand soap in one. I have my razor, my eyelash brushes in one, and my toothbrush in the other. And I sit there underneath my medicine cabinet, and it sits there out of the way. Perfect, cute little Foxxx little thing I have going on right there. That's a $35 set. I'm sure it again, $35 set. You can order it by sending me at gmail.com. I'm still building my website, so I'm not going to be taking anything on the website just yet. I'll let you know when I will. But again, I will show you the tray set again. This is the vanity tray set. It's $35 for the full set. The set is not sold separately. Like you can see the picture in the middle shows that the lid comes off of the jar, the soap dispenser. That's what I use it for. But you can use it for what you choose to use it for. You can put your jewelry in it. You can put your incense in it. Do not put fire on it, because it will melt. It's epoxy, it's resin. It will melt. So with that being said, let's get back to the show. All right, so it is now time for Dear Sister, ... a letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the entire title. So today we're going to talk about missing girls. 3 missing girls that I have found. All right, so today, number 1 would be Daphne Tullis. This is young Daphne. Daphne Tullis. This is a projected video. I mean, not video, image of what they think she would look like now. Okay, the picture on the left is her when she went missing, and the picture on the right is an age progression picture of what they believe that she would look like if she would be they want to say 21, 22 years old. So again, there is a 1-page story about young Daphne. And it reads, Daphne was last seen walking out of her hometown in Jackson, Mississippi on July 26, 1988, where she lived with her grandparents. And her mother lived in an apartment down the street. Daphne left her grandparents' house at 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8 p.m. that night on the 26th of July, 1988, after getting into an argument with her mother over some fish sticks, y'all. That's what I'm saying. This is a baby. She's what, 8? She was 7 years old when she went missing. She left out the house. People let her leave out the house between 7 and 8 o'clock at night because they mad. She mad about some fish sticks. Hey, you raise them how you want to. That's yours. I have no quarrel, no comment, no nothing. But I can tell you this: you're walking out of my house. Period. You better walk in your bedroom and do what you got to do. What you got to do, calm your nerves. But that's me, not them. So anywho, she was last seen walking up towards the North Side Drive. Okay. Daphne was never seen or heard from again. It says uncharacteristics for her to stay away from home like that. Now, Daphne is epileptic, okay, and she requires daily medication to control her seizures and the symptoms of her um, condition. But again, that's supposed to be one of the reasons why the police say that um, what they call it, circumstance, a special circumstance is the child is meeting danger and have health conditions. She has health conditions. She's epileptic. She has seizures, and she didn't have her medication on her when she ran away from home. So why didn't they use this as a chance to like push down and find out where this baby is? It's 1988. They don't care. So it says that Daphne's biological father was immediately ruled out as a suspect because she didn't live with her daddy, but he was not a suspect. And bless his soul, because he's gone now. He's passed on. So he was ruled out as a suspect in her case, so that's fine. But then at the time of her disappearance, authorities were investigating the allegations that her mother's boyfriend at the time, Ernest E. Epps, who was the father of Daphne's two younger siblings, had sexually abused her in June of 1988. So she goes missing July of 1988, and she was reporting that this man was abusing her in June. She told her aunt that he touched her inappropriately on June 29th while she was asleep. Okay. He made sexual battery. At that point, so on July 8th, he was arrested for sexual battery. I'm like, okay. So at that point, his family offered her family $175 to drop the complaint against him, but of course they said no. And he was released on bail on July 26th, the very same day Daphne goes missing. In spite of the time when the police were unable to connect him with her disappearance, it's too much of a coincidence, y'all. That's too much of a coincidence, y'all. This man is saying, look, stop telling these folks I touched you. You get out of jail the same day she go missing. Nobody heard from her. They said she walked out the door mad about some fish sticks. No, she didn't walk out the door mad about some fish sticks, ma'am. Where is she? Where did she go? The authorities got tips that Daphne's whereabouts was as far as Michigan, but nobody was able to determine where she is. Nobody. They don't know what happened to her. So she's in the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children database. That's NamUs. That's the database I love going to, but it breaks my heart to go to, because it gives you every missing person or every unidentified person, you know. So her story's inside there. She's also in something called the Clarion Ledger. She's in the Baton Rouge Advocate. She's also on the Charlie Project. She's on a lot of different platforms that you can kind of look at and see if you know who she is. We put her picture back up there again. This is Tellus. This is Daphne Tellus. On the left, this is her the day she went missing. And this is her on the right. This is what they assume that she would look like if she was still alive today. Not alive, but if she was to be found. So if you do, or if you have seen this person, please, by all means, reach out to the Jackson Police Department at up there. Jackson Police Department at 601-960-1234. That is too easy. 601-960-1234. And guys, that's Daphne Tellus. Daphne Tellus. I want you to know, dear Daphne, that you are my sister, and you are not forgotten. This is a letter to let you know that you are not forgotten. Dear Daphne. Dear Daphne. All right. So we're going to move right on along to our next sweet baby who went missing. And this, my friends, is Abrina Mack. Abrina Mack. She went missing on August the 15th, 2006. And her case went largely unnoticed. For years now, you know, they have not really paid attention to her case. And it's mighty funny that a year before she went missing, Another lady went missing. Donna Calloway went missing around the same time, and there is no information on Donna Calloway. No information on Donna Calloway except the fact that they can tie her to the fact that Arbrina went missing. So the story says Arbrina's 5'3" inches tall. She has black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen leaving her home on Central Street in 2006. She told her sister she was heading over to a neighboring street, but she never returned. Her family behind, despite of what people want us to, the people to believe about us. We're not going to just neglect our children. We're not just going to leave our children behind. We love our kids. So they're trying to make her out as a bad person because they want to say she just left her children behind. So in Alabama, this is in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, Calloway and Mack were 2 of 148 adults who went missing, whose whereabouts are unknown in 2006. In 2006, Donna Calloway, and Arbrina Mack are 2 of 148 people who went missing, adults whose whereabouts are unknown in Alabama. Oh my gosh, right? So again, they said these girls are labeled as runaways, and the police don't give them much attention at all. It's kind of shooed away as an issue that they don't pay attention to. Again, reason number 1, the police discretion. If the police feel like your case is not worth it, then girl, go ahead. We don't care. She's a black girl. She's old enough. She can handle herself out there in them streets because we know that they have the resilience and the agility to be adultified. You know, yeah, she's 12, but she's an adult now. You know what I mean? And then there's not enough DNA databases to find out if she's there. So yeah, we got her on these websites. We got her in Nameless. We got her in Nameless. We got her in on the Charlie Project. We have her in the Doe Network. We have her. You can even go to Ultra. Let's not forget about Ultra. Ultra is a lab that'll find you where you come from. When they go deep down inside and look for your DNA, look for genetics. They'll find you, but we'll have enough information to Ultra for you. So girl, go on. And then we gotta go find that white girl. So girl, go on. So that's why there's not enough information on happening, not enough investigation going on when it comes to our missing black girls. And we need to hold people's feet to the fire when it comes to us girls missing. We need to hold ourselves accountable, first of all, with the authorities. The people who are supposed to get out there and look for us. The people who are supposed to get out there and find us, we need to hold them accountable, hold their feet to the fire, because it's time to be enough, let enough be enough. So again, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this is Arbrina Mack. If you have heard of her, if you have seen anything that can lead the police, the authorities to her, please do not hesitate to contact the Montgomery, Alabama police. You know, and I'm going to also just talk about Nanette as well, because Nanette is part of this. Nanette went missing in Montgomery, Alabama on April 8, 2016. She's a 51-year-old female who went missing. And so her disappearance, she resided in some apartments. The apartments was not far from the highway. She was employed at a processing center where she processed vehicles for the Honda dealership. So she had a really decent job. She had stuff to live for. She didn't want to just run off and leave her job like this, but they're telling the people, you know what? This is what happened to her. She ran off. We're not going to go look for her because what? Number one, it's up to us. If we feel like we want to go look for her. Number two, she's 51 years old. She can handle herself out in the streets. I know she can. She's 51. If she can't, then she deserves what she keeps coming to her. And that's messed up. That's messed up. That's messed up. So they said on April 2nd, 2016, a week before Nanette disappeared, 20-year-old Rickham Samuel, another woman, disappeared a week before Nanette. A Rickham Samuel disappears. A year before Arbrina, Donna Calloway disappears. And there's nothing. This is Nanette, y'all. This is Nanette and Rickham's story. She was, and first of all, the craziest thing about this shit is Nanette supervised Rickham at work. So Rickham was later found dead of a homicide. And they said it's unclear if the two cases was connected, but Nanette and Rickham both worked together. Nanette supervised Rickham at the car dealer place, right? So this is weird. This is all weird, but it still needs to be investigated because this is not enough information to find out. This is the only photo I can find on Arbrina. And then this is the information that they have on Arbrina and Donna Calloway. And it's not full stories on these ladies. This is mainly talking about statistics of the Black and brown, community. Talk about them just a little bit. No information on these people, guys. Alabama, what is going on? We need to figure out why y'all can't investigate y'all people. Why y'all can't find nobody. Why you don't even care about the people. So if you have any information about Arbrina Mack, Donna Calloway, Nanette Thomas, and Rickham Samuel, please contact the Montgomery Police Department. 4 ladies I just named. 4 ladies I just named, Montgomery, Alabama. 4 ladies I just named that you cannot get any information on. This is what we got on 4 ladies from Montgomery, Alabama, y'all. Went missing and they cannot find them. So are they part of the sex trafficking ring? Are they part of this whole situation? What is going on? Are they still alive? Are they still here? So let's find out. Let's hold people's feet to the fire. We voted you in here, people. We're going to hold you accountable for everything that you say you're going to do. We're going to start holding you accountable for the things that you're not doing. We're going to hold you accountable for the things that's happening in our communities that you're not taking care of your business. We're going to hold you accountable for this because we voted you in here. We said to the people, okay, you know what? Let's let these people. We believe that you're the ones who can do so. Or if it's a lot of cases like a lot of us, our person didn't win. So we have to deal with what we get. Our person didn't even win. You know what I'm saying? So, like I always tell my people, if you know anything about any of these cases and you really like to reach out and talk to somebody and you don't feel comfortable reaching out to the man, you know what I'm saying? You can always contact your girl. Please email me, 77production@gmail.com. Put in the subject bar Foxxx Files, and I will know what the subject's about. And then email and let me know. And when you email me, if you have a case that you want to talk about, we can research the case together. I can research it on my own, no big deal. Or if you have any information about a case that I've talked about, if you know anybody that has been murdered and they have not solved their case, even if the case has been solved, but nobody even talk about the case anymore, let's talk about it. If you know somebody who's missing and they have not found the person, let's talk about it. We're here to bring awareness and enlightenment to the public and to the community. So please reach out to me at 77production@gmail.com. And and if you are someone who is interested in being interviewed by me, 77 Production has a location now. Foxxx Files Unsolved has a location now, guys. So I can sit down and we can talk about it. It's time to bring awareness to us. It's time to bring awareness to our situations, to our stories. So please reach out to me at 77production@gmail.com, subject bar Foxxx Files, or you can reach out to me at facebook.com/CatSam. That is me. And that is the show, guys. So again, did you know about the disparities in the media coverage when it comes to reporting the missing ladies? Our missing ladies, we're missing too much. It's too much. We're falling short too much. And we have to change this, guys. We have to be responsible for ourselves. We have to be responsible for our children. We have to be responsible for our parents. Yes, our mama might be 60 years old, but our mamas and daddies still, have issues too. So we don't want our mother or our father to go off and end up hurting somebody, or leaving the house and then becoming part of this statistic. You know, leaving and going to the store and being part of this statistic. We have to keep each other together, y'all. And there's a lot of us doing this to ourselves. There's a lot of black men doing this to these young girls, a lot of black women doing this to these young girls and young boys. So, guys, we have to police ourselves, right? Right. So that was our show for today. And this is my first time doing it live. I went through it and I made it through. It's not so bad doing it live, so I can do it live from here on out. I do know that. I guess it made it easier because it has 0 views right now. So I appreciate you guys for not watching it now, but watch it. You dig? Because let's get ready to, I guess, be posted. I gotta figure out what's going on. Anyway, so we'll figure this out. I hope I recorded it all, because if I did, then I'm going to be set, right? So, guys, I'm Cass, H-Town's Army Brat. This is Foxxx Files, Cold and Unsolved, my show where I highlight the many cold case murders here in Houston, Texas, through my beautiful souls. And then I will scurry on over to dear sister, ... a letter to let you know that you're not forgotten. This is my show, and I'm wrapping it up.